Thanks for joining us on Plus TV Africa. My name is Felicity Ezewike. President of the Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki, has declared his intention to run for presidency in the 2019 general elections. He made the declaration on Thursday while delivering a keynote address at a dialogue for youths and young aspirants in Abuja. Accordingly, I hereby announce my intention to run for the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in the coming general elections in 2019 on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. I do so with the firm conviction that I have what it takes to secure inclusive growth for Nigeria and Nigerians. Also, he stated that the economy is broken while the nation has now more than ever witnessed division along regional, religious and ethnic lines, a situation he believes should be addressed urgently in order for the nation to grow.
The choice you face in the forthcoming election is either to keep things as they are or make a radical departure from the old ways. To find a better way of doing things or keep repeating the mistakes of the past. To fix the problems or keep compounding the problems. It is with all this in mind and taking account of the challenges that I have outlined, I have decided to answer the call. My intention to run for the office of President of the Federal Republic.
In a related development, the Not Too Young to Run movement on Thursday disowned affiliation with President of the Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki's declaration for the presidency in 2019 election. In a statement signed by one of the conveners of the group, Mr. Samson Itodo, it said that it was displeased with the use of its platform by the senator to declare his ambition without prior consultation. The group said that as part of efforts to promote youth candidacy and democratic primaries, it had commenced a series of public town hall meetings with the leadership of the political parties and young aspirants. According to it, this is to address the challenges faced by young aspirants in securing party tickets. Still on election matters, the ruling All Progressive Congress APC has adopted direct primary election to select its candidate for the presidential election in 2019. This was part of the resolutions reached at the party's National Executive Committee NEC meeting, which held on Thursday at the APC National Secretariat in Abuja, Nigeria's federal capital. The party, however, adopted indirect primaries for members contesting for other elective positions in the forthcoming elections. It also asked states willing to hold indirect primaries, depending on their peculiarities, to inform the national working committees of the party. More on that as we get it. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday hosted Southwest caucus of the ruling All Progressive Congress to dinner at the First Lady Conference Hall, Presidential Villa, Abuja, Nigeria's capital. The president and members of the Southwest APC caucus would use the opportunity of the dinner to deliberate and strategize on the forthcoming Osun State governorship election, slated for September 22. It will be recalled that the national chairman of the APC, Comrade Adams Oshomole, had on Wednesday inaugurated a 63-member National Campaign Council for the Osun governorship election in Abuja. The campaign council is being headed by Governor Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano State. The wife of the Nigerian president, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, has declared her support for female candidates vying for different elective positions, irrespective of their political parties in Nigeria. Mrs. Buhari said the support became necessary considering the low level of women participation in politics, especially at the grassroots level. She said this on Thursday while declaring open the Women Political Aspirants Advocacy Summit in Abuja. Mrs. Buhari also appealed to political parties to implement the 35% affirmative action of ensuring effective gender mainstreaming in the affairs of their party. As the Nigerian electoral voter registration comes to a close Friday after a 2-week extension, many Nigerians are still unable to get registered, while INEC officials refuse to comment on the situation.
With just one day to the end of the continuous voter registration exercise by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, it is expected that most Nigerians of voting age would have taken advantage of the 2 weeks extension to get registered. Plus TV Africa visited the Victoria Island Junior School, one of the designated voter registration points, where it was observed that despite the extension period, many unregistered voters turned out in a desperate move to get captured in the INEC voters database. Some of whom had been at the center several times without luck, but for others, it was a last-minute rush.
Don't mean that, all right, tomorrow is the last day and then I have to get this sorted. And that's why I'm here. Ordinarily, the last days are never the best.
Getting the PVC as a Nigerian, I don't know what they've done to me in my own life. You understand? So it's not more important to me. So why I'm here like is just for me to get it finally. Because I know when it's rush time, that is where you see Nigerians coming out.
A lady who spoke to Plus TV Africa off camera said she lost her job after many days of not reporting to work because she was trying to get registered. Others shared their experiences.
The INEC officials are not there to really, they're not friendly. They speak to people rudely.
Like now, I've been in this place for almost 3 times. I will be here around, I'll be here around, let's say, 3 a.m. early in the morning, just because I want to put down my name.
Although INEC officials on ground declined to comment on the issue, it is evident that the 2 weeks extension by INEC has proved insufficient, as people who already lost hope either sat around the polling unit looking downcast or just went home. If getting registered is this tough for able-bodied people, the plight of people living with disabilities can only be imagined. Few hours to the end of INEC voter registration, it is hoped that INEC staff, in the spirit of patriotism and for love of country, redouble their efforts to ensure that more Nigerians are captured in INEC database and that the process is fair and rancor-free to avoid disenfranchising Nigerians.
Who knows, INEC might just consider an extension. Away from that now, Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka has berated Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari for saying that the rule of law can be suspended for the sake of national security. This, Soyinka noted, was a plan by the president to hide under the national interest umbrella to undermine the rule of law. President Buhari had, at the opening of the 58th Annual General Conference of the Nigerian Bar Association in Abuja on Sunday, said rule of law must be subject to the supremacy of the nation's security and national interest. In a statement titled Buhari's Pernicious Doctrine, Soyinka said he was thankful that Nigerians were being given an advance warning of what was to come. The Nobel laureate recalled that during his rule as a military dictator, President Buhari locked up journalists under the guise of national security. We'll take a quick break. Stay tuned for more news when we return. At least 6 people have died and 30 passengers injured after a bus traveling from South Africa's Cape Town to the Eastern Cape overturned in the early hours of Thursday morning, traffic officials said. The accident occurred at around 2 a.m., 50 kilometers outside Beaufort West, a town in the semi-desert Karoo region. Another 30 passengers were injured. South Africa has a very poor road safety record despite having the continent's most modern road network. More than 14,000 people were killed in road accidents last year. This is according to official statistics. At least 27 people have been killed and nearly 100 wounded in several days of fighting between rival militias near the Libyan capital, the health ministry said Thursday. The clashes broke out on Monday in suburbs south of Tripoli and continued into Wednesday evening after a truce collapsed, despite an appeal by the United Nations for calm. The clashes came to an end on Thursday after a ceasefire agreement announced by officials from West areas. But it was unclear whether the two rival camps would continue to respect it. Fayez al-Sarraj, the leader of the internationally recognized Government of National Accord, has tasked forces from western and central regions of Libya with ensuring the rivals adhere to the ceasefire. Ugandan pop star and MP Bobby Wine has been prevented from leaving the country to seek medical treatment despite being granted bail, his lawyers say. He was charged with treason last week following the alleged stoning of President Yoweri Museveni's convoy. On Monday, a judge said he did not constitute a flight risk and granted him bail, along with 32 other opposition politicians who had been charged. He was rearrested at the airport, even though the judge had let him have his passport because he needed to leave the country for medical reasons, Robert Amsterdam told the BBC. He was violently thrown into a police ambulance. The lawyers have no idea where he's being taken and we're all really in shock, he added. Malawi's ex-president, Joyce Benda, who recently returned home from 4 years of self-imposed exile, was on Thursday re-elected as her People's Party's candidate to lead it into next year's national elections. As political parties readied for next year's elections, 1,800 PP delegates from around the country converged in the commercial capital of Blantyre to give Ms. Benda the mandate to attempt to wrestle power from President Peter Mutharika's Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, to whom she lost the 2014 elections.
Two people don't win in a race. It's always one person who wins in any race. So here I actually congratulate Her Excellency Dr. Joyce Banda for winning, and I appreciate her very much as well for giving me the opportunity of competing in this election.
We are greatly humbled as a new committee. As you saw, it was highly competitive. The outcomes of the elections were really unexpected. And I myself did not take my competitor for granted. We, therefore, must not take the people for granted, the people that have elected us. We must respect them.
We'll take a short break. When we return, more news. Joe Biden is being recognized, among other stories. Stay with us. Former Vice President Joe Biden on Thursday eulogized late Senator John McCain as an American giant whose belief in the soul of the country helped give citizens their confidence and optimism. He led heartfelt tributes to the warrior and one-time Republican presidential nominee at a Phoenix memorial shortly before McCain's remains were to be flown to Washington. Mr. Biden's poignant words came a day after more than 15,000 people, many waiting in 100-degree summer heat, paid tribute to McCain at the Arizona state capitol.
I always thought of John as a brother. We had a hell of a lot of family fights. John believed so deeply and so passionately in the soul of America that he made it easier for them to have confidence and faith in America.
Top North American Free Trade Agreement and NAFTA negotiators from Canada and the United States wrapped up a third day of two-way talks on Thursday, agreeing to meet the next day to resolve final differences before a deadline, with Mexican counterparts on standby to rejoin negotiations. Despite some contentious issues still on the table, the increasingly positive tone contrasted with U.S. President Donald Trump's harsh criticism of Canada in recent weeks, raising hopes the year-long talks to revamp NAFTA will conclude soon with a trilateral deal. Negotiations entered a crucial phase this week after the United States and Mexico announced a two-way deal on Monday, setting auto content rules and paving the way for Canada to rejoin talks to modernize the 1994 accord that underpins annual trade of more than $1 trillion. U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to withdraw the U.S. from the World Trade Organization if the body fails to change the way it treats America. If they don't shape up, I would withdraw from the WTO, Mr. Trump said in an interview with Bloomberg News. The WTO was established to provide rules for global trade and resolve disputes between countries. But Mr. Trump, who has been pushing protectionist policies, says the U.S. is treated unfairly by the body. His warning about a possible U.S. pullout from the organization highlights the conflict between the president's trade policies and the open trade system that the WTO oversees. Up next is our business report with Edidiong Iwang.
This is Business News and I'm Edidiong Iwang. Well, after the fine slammed on 4 banks by the Apex Bank and its allegations against telecommunications company MTN, requesting the return of $8.1 billion back to Nigeria, MTN has refuted all claims by CBN. In a statement by the Corporate Affairs Manager, Ms. Afunsho Aino, MTN Nigeria strongly refutes these allegations and claims. He said no dividend has been declared by or paid by MTN Nigeria other than pursuant to CCIs issued by their bankers. According to him, issues surrounding the CCI was already subject to thorough inquiry by the Nigerian Senate. Aino said that in 2016, the Senate mandated the Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions to carry out a holistic investigation on FX compliance. The hybrid rice seedling factory by the Cross River State government is estimated to generate at least 14 billion naira annually. Now that's according to the State Commissioner of Agriculture, Professor Anthony Aneji, who said the product from factory is expected to meet the hybrid seed demands of farmers in the entire South and Southeast regions. Professor Aneji said the factory was built at a cost of over 3 billion naira in terms of planning, design, construction and equipping. He also added that an estimated 1.2 billion naira will be generated monthly from about 1,000 hectares of land, which conservatively is worth about 14 billion naira annually. On the activities of the Nigerian Stock Exchange from yesterday, our business correspondent Irene Ubani brings us up to date on all the trades and deals that took place.
The Nigerian stock markets plunged downwards as the all-share index declined by 0.77% to close at 35,086.67. Top gainers include Guinness, which gained 5 naira, a 5.56% rise from its last close. NEM also gained 30 kobo, a 10% increase from its previous close. WAPCO had a 1 naira 80 kobo drop in share price, a 7.06% decrease, while Forte Oil had a 1 naira 70 kobo drop, a 7.83% decline from its previous close. With a volume of 57.119 million shares, valued at 452.330 million naira, was UBA which led the list of top trades, while market capitalization was 12.809 trillion naira, and total deals was 3,303. Irene Ubani reporting for Plus TV Africa.
Well, that's it on Business News, but still to come is our roundup on entertainment and sport. Don't go away.
And in entertainment, it isn't news anymore that Davido has been enrolled into the National Youth Service Program. And yesterday, he showed up at the NYSC Camp Lagos for registration for his official swearing in. And in the process, he was rushed by other corps members who wanted a picture with the superstar. In a video that has surfaced online of Davido and brother Shaggy, the singer disclosed he has given out his NYSC monthly allowance to an unknown fan. American rapper and songwriter Marshall Bruce Mathers III, popularly known as Eminem, just dropped a surprise album, making it his 10th studio album, Kamikaze. The rap icon took to his Twitter page to make the announcement by sharing the cover and track list of the new release album with the caption, "Tried not to overthink this one, enjoy." Most of his fans have taken to their Twitter account to reply with excitement, and American comedian and actress Kathy Griffin also commented with the caption, well, it's good to be back. It's been 18 years. I have missed you, Marshall." Hollywood actress Heather Locklear has been charged for attacking a police officer. The 56-year-old was arrested in the month of June for attacking police officers who were at her home to investigate a domestic disturbance. At the time, it was said that she was intoxicated and punched a cop and an emergency medical technician as they tried to load her onto a gurney. Heather was also detained in February for a domestic violence crime, including battery on a policeman. She was charged with 5 criminal offenses in that case, and the 3 new counts will now be added to the previous complaint. And that's it on entertainment. The best in sports right after this.
Welcome to Spot Update. Luka Modric has won the coveted UEFA Men's Player of the Year award ahead of former Real Madrid teammate Cristiano Ronaldo and Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah on Thursday evening. The Croatian received 313 points in the voting, with Cristiano Ronaldo coming second on 223 points and Salah in third with 134 points. Sergio Ramos won the Best Defender award, while Modric collected a second award when he won the Best Midfielder of the Year. And it was another win for Real Madrid as their goalkeeper Keylor Navas was named the best goalkeeper of last season's Champions League with Real Madrid. Now, the group stages for the Champions League is officially out as some of the biggest clubs in Europe prepare to battle it out for the biggest prize in club football. Manchester United will welcome Cristiano Ronaldo back to Old Trafford on October 23 after being drawn against Juventus in Group H alongside Valencia and Young Boys. Last season's runner-up, Liverpool will come up against Ligue 1 winners Paris Saint-Germain on September 18th. They will travel to Napoli on October 3 and Red Star Belgrade in Group C. A tricky draw for Tottenham sees Mauricio Pochettino's men take on La Liga champions Barcelona, as well as Inter Milan and PSV in Group B. The group stage game starts on September 18 and 19 and end on December 11 and 12. The knockout stages start in February, and the final will take place at Atletico Madrid's Wanda Metropolitana Stadium on June 1st. That's it on Spot Update.
Thanks, Murafolu. And that's our news roundup of events at this hour. For more news updates, please follow us at Plus TV Africa on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube page, and that's at Plus TV Africa. We'll be back later with more stories making the headlines. So join us again. My name is Felicity Ezewike. Thanking you for watching. Have a great day.